Welcome back to Family Meeting Inner Work. This is the space where we take ideas and sit them down at the table. No yelling, no online debates, just real life, real people, and real application. Thank you for continuing to show up, to listen, and most importantly, to do the inner work. Episode 2A, Submission, Protection, Not Prison.
It doesn't mean that you have to be stifled in your relationship if you decide that you want to submit to your man. I submit to my husband because why? He's proven time and time again that I can trust in his leadership. I can depend on this man because I know he's a man of his word, and not only of his word, of his action.
Today's topic, submission. Now, before we react, before we shut down or tense up, let's sit with it. Because most people don't reject submission, they reject the version of it they've seen. The version that looked like control, the version that felt like silence, the version that caused harm. But that's not what submission is supposed to be. So today, we're going to separate truth from trauma. Let's define it clearly. Submission is a voluntary act of trust. It's a wife saying, I see how you lead. I trust your heart. I trust your direction. It is alignment, not oppression. It is choosing unity over power struggles. And here's where the inner work comes in. Submission requires discernment. Not every man is safe to follow. Not every voice deserves agreement. So submission is not lowering yourself. It's about choosing wisely who you rise with.
The big problem that women have when it comes to submission boils down to trust. Women struggle to trust a man's ability to lead. Now, a lot of that stems from what women have gone through in their life, whether that be growing up in a household where they didn't have a male figure that set that proper, healthy example, or they had a male figure and they watched them get run over, right, by their mother, so they don't trust men to be able to take the lead and do what's best for their partner or for their family. Or they may have experienced a bad situation in one of their previous relationships. But at the end of the day, the real issue for them is a lack of trust and fear. And so when you understand that that is a big problem, you have to ask yourself, okay, how do I create an environment that allows her to trust me more?
Now, let's clean the table off because there's a lot of confusion here. Submission is not being quiet when you're disrespected, staying in abusive situations, losing your identity or your voice, agreeing with everything, even when it's wrong, carrying a man who refuses to lead himself. That's not submission, that's survival, and those are two very different things. Let's talk outcomes. When submission is practiced in a healthy, balanced marriage, research shows couples with clear roles and mutual respect report higher relationship satisfaction. Women who trust their partner's leadership often experience greater emotional security. Marriages built on cooperation instead of competition tend to last longer. And here's the part we don't talk about enough. Admiration grows in environments where trust feels safe. When a woman feels protected, considered, and valued, submission doesn't feel like pressure, it feels like peace. Let's bring this into the living room. A couple is trying to decide whether to move to another city for an opportunity. The wife has concerns, real concerns. Instead of shutting down or taking over, she speaks openly but respectfully. She says, "Help me understand your vision. I want to feel what you see." And the husband? He doesn't dismiss her. He listens, he explains, he reassures. After that process, she supports the decision, not because she was forced, but because she was included. That's submission with partnership. That's what it looks like when two people are building, not battling. Let's make it actionable. If you're a wife or preparing to be one, here are some ways submission can show up in a healthy way. 1. Check your tone before your words. Respect isn't just what you say, it's how you say it. 2. Ask before you assume. Clarify his direction instead of challenging his intent. 3. Support publicly, discuss privately. Unity in front of others builds strength inside the relationship. 4. Affirm his efforts. Men grow where they are respected. 5. Stay honest, not hostile. Submission does not mean silence, it means constructive truth. Now, let's not leave the men out of this meeting, because submission is only safe when leadership is solid. A husband must lead with integrity, protect his wife emotionally and physically, be open to her wisdom and perspective, take accountability for decisions. Because let's be real, if a man is inconsistent, careless, or selfish, submission will feel like a risk, not a refuge. So here's the question we leave on the table today. Is the environment safe enough for submission to exist? And if not, what needs to be healed, developed, or corrected on both sides? Because submission isn't about power, it's about trust meeting responsibility. And when those two things come together, you don't get control, you get connection.
Take this into your home. Take this into your conversations. And most importantly, take this into yourself. Because everything we build on the outside starts with the work we're willing to do within. Thank you for being here. Keep showing up, keep growing, and keep doing the inner work. Thank you for listening. We'll catch you next time. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Peace.